Hello, beautiful souls, beloved hearts. Welcome to the Sacred Heart Awakenings, to another weekly live video. And just been doing these love wisdom live videos on a weekly basis, just sharing wisdom of the heart, wisdom of the ancients. And today's topic, and every week is a different topic of discussion that is open for forums of comments, of questions that you may have. And just want to check in on everybody. How is everybody doing? How has the week been for you? And I also wanted to know how these love wisdoms have been for you as well. I welcome your comments and feedbacks below. So you want to share if these comments have been helpful to you, or if you're looking for other type of love wisdom to share. So this week's topic, I want to discuss about fear and what it really means as an energy and what to do to navigate around it. And there's a lot obviously going on with still some planets being in retrograde. And we have another full moon coming up soon, and they're calling it the Aquarius full moon, or the emotional type full moon. And it's in the Leo astrology season. And so I guess they call it the Aquarium full moon. It has to do with water. So definitely with water has to do with purification, but also emotions, our emotions. And since it's a full moon, it's a lot of releasing. So the message is that there's a lot of releasing and cleansing that's going to happen for this full moon. That's going to help with more of the ascension and the shift that is happening around the world collectively as well as individually. And then a week after the full moon is the Lion's Gate portal, which opens on August 8th. And I personally have been feeling this already. It's a combination of mixture of energies. So wondering how everybody is feeling. Been feeling a range of mostly deep sleep and deep rest. And if you're feeling that, that's normal. It's part of the energy that is happening right now. It's because it's helping us with further ascension and shifting going on in us collectively. And so you will feel, if you're feeling that, that's normal. But use this time to your advantage, also for your own personal spiritual growth, where you want to head into life, what you need to shed from your life. And as we enter into this whole topic of fear, this is a perfect time to assist you with that during these energies. And I feel that the month of August is all about empowerment of ourselves. Because it is our time to claim our own power of who we truly are, these divine beings of light, and we are higher love. And it's time for us to embrace that and step fully into our power. In order to get there, we must let go and release of these patterns that are happening to us through thought or some other way that we're feeling emotions come up and rise that may be based out of fear. So the format is, I'll get into the topic about fear, and then towards the end of the video, I want to dedicate some time to do a group meditation for the children. I don't know if you've been seeing a lot in the news, but there's been a lot of protests and a rising of what's been going on with a lot of the human trafficking, and that includes the children trafficking. And a lot of that being unveiled and revealed. And when there is even greater light, even darkness cannot hide. Lies cannot be hidden. So the truth always appears and will resurface because the light is much stronger. And love, being one of those frequencies, is definitely much stronger. So I want to use that time towards the end where we could do a group meditation for the children, and sending our energetic assistance to them to help with their trauma that they're going through, that they're in the situation. And also the energy support for those who are actually helping and being heroes out there to help many children, any form of human trafficking that is happening. It's hard to believe that, we're in the 21st century and there's still this form of slavery going on, especially with the children. So let's come together energetically and use this time together to bring a major shift right before using this energy of the full moon and the Lionsgate portal that is opening right now. And that is empowering us to work more collectively together. And we may be called into different roles, some of them more active roles and some of them more in the energetic shift. Whatever may be the case is right for you, but you listen to your soul, to what it is that is calling you. So fear. What is fear? Fear is a form of doubt and worries. It's a constantly eating at you through mentally or even emotionally in so many ways. It definitely feels very uncomfortable to the point it could be nauseating. And I've seen that there's been studies as well with scientists on the whole energy of fear. And they've shown how the lower vibration affects the human body, the human health. And definitely stress is part of that fear energy as well. And I've seen many cases where it just does things to the body health-wise, all sorts of pain, physical pain that manifests out of certain emotional and pain, mental thinking type fear energy. And I usually like to use the dark night of the soul because that's usually when it's the most intense, is that the fear energy is very consuming overall. And so you feel in this completely dark period of darkness where there is this worry about the future and what it's going to bring, what does it mean? And it's just all sorts of things happening in the mind. And then there's a fear energy that is more of sometimes beating yourself up for the way things happen and why did you allow it to happen. These are just examples of what may appear in your mind as part of the fear energy. So ways to navigate around that is to pay attention to your thoughts. Number one, I'm going to share 3 keys with you about how to navigate around the fear. Number one, pay attention to your thoughts. Of course, acknowledge that they're there. Don't push it aside. Don't deny it. And be honest with yourself that this is happening. So they are much a part of you as the light is a part of you, because we're a human, duality. So we have both aspects of the physical form as well as our soul being the light. So that's just a lot of the patterns that get buried within us, within the cells, and it just gets triggered and it gets embedded in the cells so that it creates this emotional form and thinking, mentally thinking, where the fear energy just consumes you. And so pay attention to your thoughts and what's going on. What is your mind saying to you? What is the fear saying to you? And it'll appear to you as the mental thinking mind, the ego. Because the ego will try so many ways to form illusions and different thoughts to make you think that you may not be worthy, or that you are much too worthy to even be, in certain situations. So at times the ego can be a little bit too extreme, from the negative to the too much positive. So the key is being the balance, which is your own divine heart, the wisdom of the heart that keeps you on check. And that is your balancing point. And the second thing is to be mindful of what it is that or the people that you're hanging out with. Are those people uplifting you, or are they not making you feel well or adding more to the fear energy. So, in other words, if somebody just keeps talking to you so much about all the negativity in the media and everything that is going on, then you should be very conscious of the people that you hang out with and what it is that they're communicating to you. Because all of that also gets projected subconsciously as well to you. And it also can get buried within your cells. And it's almost like a recording that just happens, and it becomes habitual to the point that you almost start to transmit it in a subconscious hidden type pattern. So you may not even be aware that it's even happening, and it's just being used as a trigger point. So just be mindful of who it is that you're talking to and what it is that they're communicating with you. You certainly want to be around people who uplift you and bring in more of the energy of more positive energy that is constructive. It doesn't mean that you're not always going to run into people who are, negative or thinking in a different way that may not even be aligning with you completely and may be impacting you in a way that is not the way for you during this time in your journey. That if you're especially going through the dark night of the soul and you're being consumed by fear, you definitely want to be around people who uplift you to help you get out of that pattern of the fear energy. And the third point on navigating throughout the fear changes is to rest and take a break, spend time outside in nature and meditate, and just tune in to your higher self and get the guidance that you need in the next move that you need to make in your life, in your journey. So definitely want to connect more with the elements of nature, because nature also helps you in releasing some of the energy and it's very uplifting. And because it is part of Mother Earth, has the energy and the magnetic pull and the grounding that you need to help you navigate through certain energies that may be attached to you that you may not be aware of as well, but it will help you reset yourself and balance yourself. And so you naturally start to gravitate more towards the love energy, and love is more powerful than fear. So definitely use the love energy to also balance you when you start getting into this pattern that you feel out of sync. Use the wisdom of your own heart and the love within to help you keep balanced. So I wanted to share also like how some scientists have studied certain elements. If you have heard of Dr. Masuro Emoto, the Japanese, I would consider him a scientist because he's done experimentation with the molecules of water, where he used the power of thought and words to create certain structures or certain patterns. In other words, he would study the before and show how certain molecules, water molecules, would configure themselves as frozen at a certain temperature. They would be structured in a certain way. For instance, if the words, like the really fear energy words, were used on it, like hatred or some fear of worry or doubt, that you can't do it. For example, he did an experiment on that and he froze the water molecule and it came out very deformed. And then he did one with the word of love, and that one he froze it and he left it for some time with that word attached to it, and the pattern of what form was this really beautiful pattern of a snowflake. So he used very high-tech stuff to really see the patterns in it. If you go online, you'll find some of the images, but it just shows to prove that what the power of our own thought does to the body, because the body is mainly composed of water. And so when we start feeding ourselves certain thought patterns, it will just conform to that energy that we are putting into, that we are in patterns, repetitive, habitually, consciously, or unaware, subconsciously. So that's just an example of some of the scientific research that has been done on it. And this was many years back that he did this, but it's gained so much popularity. It was even in that movie called The Secret. I don't know if many of you have seen it, but it has a lot of good information in there about the power of thought and the words that we use. So just keep that in mind of when you start to feel this fear energy come up on you, how you can shift that into the love energy. And the love energy, what it does to your body is to just uplift it, and it helps you with the ascension that we are going through, the shift and the changes that we're going through, to help you navigate through it. With all the chaos that is still happening out there, just remember to come back to the energy of love. And that is the choice that you should constantly be making. So thankfully, you're in the Sacred Heart Awakenings group, which helps you also to maintain an open heart and keep opening your heart and staying in the love vibration. As a community here together, we are doing that. And of course, if you're having trouble with anything, or you really need help with anything that is going on with your changes, please don't hesitate to direct message me in private, and I would love to assist you. So I wanted to just say that, as we're entering the month of August, today is the last day of July. And this month of August, this is our time to step up and embrace our own power. And it is our power of love that we hold within us, that we can make those changes here on this earth, those changes in our life to whatever is going on. And all of everything that existed in the third dimension or the old world before we went through the portal of the 3 eclipses that happened in June, all of that is beginning to fade away, and all of that was just an illusion. And it was more of a structure that was built on fear more than anything, to enslave us and keep us away from the light. And it is time for you to remember who you really are. You are always a divine being of love and light. And that is what you truly are. And it's time to shift all those hidden patterns inside of you. It's time to make that change. It's time to embrace all that you are in power and embrace the love within you. So this is just a reminder of what it is that you come to do, an activation in a way to help you remember. So I hope this message does help you in many ways, and I welcome your feedback and comments. I now would like to do a group meditation that will assist the children energetically in everything that is going on right now in the world with human trafficking. So if I could ask each of you to just sit down or make sure that you're somewhere comfortable to do this meditation. And it's a guided meditation. And if you could just close your eyes, because we're going to visualize together. And I'll be helping you with the visualization. Sit comfortably, close your eyes. Take several deep breaths. So once you're comfortable with your eyes closed, sitting, taking deep breaths, we're now just going to visualize the children in front of you. Just imagine a bunch of children. And now envision them as being safe and they're happy. We're going to visualize the outcome, because that is what we want. The ultimate goal is to visualize the highest timeline, visualize the highest outcome for these children and what they're going through. And we're going to help them shift their trauma. So visualize them being very happy, joyful. Feel it. Feel their energy. And as you're doing that, imagine we're going to invoke the sacred fire of the violet flame. And this is a pure violet color that is so powerful, transformative, and transmutive to transmute any trauma that these children are going through. So now just allow these flames to consume the children, and it's taking all their pain and trauma, and it's only just transmuting it so that they're more joyful and happy, and that they're liberated. Now allow a few seconds for that. Thinking of all the children out there who may be suffering from all this trafficking, that they be liberated peacefully and harmoniously. That only love is stronger, and it is our collective love and group energy together that we can greatly assist these children right now. And during this time of the full moon energy that we are entering with the Lion's Gate power, it is time to shift that. It is time to stand up for them and help them, whether that be in physical action or whether that be in the energetic form that we're doing right now collectively. Thank you all for taking this time of visualizing the children and for being together in this and working and assisting those energetically, helping the children with breaking free and liberating from all this. And I hope that you have a great weekend, and I look forward to our next Love Wisdom next week. I would love to hear your comments on if this has been helpful to you, if there's something else you would like to hear or discuss in an open forum discussion. So everybody be well, be safe, and I love you all. Take care.